Why don't we try kindness kiss? You know, whenever I look at this one, I really think of.
Oh, okay. Let's do this.
So let's take a deep breath. Oh, it's three-dimensional. So you come over this way,
Yes.
take a deep
Okay.
breath, and here we go.
When I was young, I admired people who were clever. Now that I'm old, I admire people who are kind. I do indeed close my door at times and surrender myself to a book, but only because I can open the door again and see a human face looking at me. True living and authentic life is when we encounter other human beings. When we see the divinity in each other. Kindness kiss.
This really has been the greatest thing about friendship and about like being married to you is for the last 20 years. I mean, we're going away in 2 days to celebrate our 20th anniversary, and really, if someone said to me, you know, what has Valerie taught you? And she's taught you kindness. And not just, it's not something that you can do theoretical, but it's something that you live by example. And you gave me the space and the freedom to grow at my own pace. So I love you for that. That was the kindness kiss. By the way, as I zoom out, you can start to see Martin Buber's algorithms unfolding. It's really this amazing. I'm actually on someone. Sometimes you can get kind of trapped in here, but you start to see his kind of the rhythm and the dance. And one thing that we hadn't talked about was the social grid. And this is kind of 1.0. It's a little early, but you can see. Let me actually come on over to you.
Yeah, I see all those little people.
Yeah, well,
There's one right in front of me.
Right, they're not so little. But what this is if you come over here, so I think his name is Jack. So what happens is, not at every step because we're kind of young, but periodically you'll see that people came in and interacted with his steps. So one of the beautiful things is you can say accountability, right? And the system will remind you daily, weekly, monthly, however you set it, that, you know, I really want to be reminded of this. This really touches my heart, right? And so the system has an intelligence, and it may not be immediately visible, but the other thing is, you know, we're doing a lot of work on patterns. We did that I was showing you with the algorithms, all the matrix, instead of the simple news feed where you switched over to a matrix. And what these early icons are is a first indication of the patterns that we're discovering as we do the algorithms together. Because sometimes it's a step up, sometimes it's a step left, sometimes you can see it's a step down, right? So you have your patterns, you have your affirmations and interactions, you have your accountability, and then you have the beginnings of a social grid. And we actually left the social grid visible. So if you actually look carefully, you'll see that for all the algorithms, whoever responded to any step of any algorithms is visible. And then one thing we haven't mapped yet is the interconnections between people who responded at different steps to different. We actually did it, but we we kept crashing the system. But actually, it's a beautiful thing because you get all these interconnecting lines. You know, Jack is connected to Susan, and Jacqueline is connected to Antonio, and this one did step 3 of algorithm, you know, the divinity DNA, and this one did kindness kiss, and there's an overlapping synergy, and it's a way to discover people with what you might call common emotional interests or just common resonances. It's really beautiful.
Now that's divine.
That's the